Hi, I'm Neiyoh, and recently I played over 100 games of Ava so I could show you how to play her properly. Drop a like on this video and subscribe if you want more character guides done in this style. I know a lot of you are just going to come here for the build, so we're going to show that first before we really dive in. This is the build I use basically every single game. The import code is going to be right there in the description. I think that Sunset Armor is definitely one of the best chess pieces in the game, and I'm taking Marble over Fireball because I think Marble is just better than Fireball. It doesn't even feel like Fireball does anything in the late game. And the Grimoire it's just a really good accessory. And for the augments, this is what I use. It helps a lot with clearing the hunts, and trust me, you're gonna be hunting a lot as Ava. And the additional 1.5 meters of vision at nighttime is really good too. Now, real quick, I wanted to show you something pretty funny here. Ava has a list of characters that are essentially do not engage under any circumstance characters. Right here in the description of the build, it says Jan, Kathy, Shoichi, Kiara, Heijin, Sylvia. Let's run away when we see them. As Ava, you cannot win against any of these characters if they are played properly, even if you're really far ahead. And in fact, I'm gonna add another character on the list. Add Luke on there. These characters are just too good at staying on top of you, or they just completely outrange you. All right, now that we've gone over the build for those looking for it, let's take a step backwards. Let's go talk about Ava's abilities. If you already know what Ava does, I'm just gonna put a timestamp up here. You can just go ahead and skip right to that. I did the chapters thing on YouTube as well. You can just skip past his abilities part. Now, luckily for us, Ava's ability is pretty straightforward. The most complicated thing about her is her passive. Ava's passive is Telekinesis. At level 6, she can interact with objects at a range and also resurrect allies at a range. This makes her really good in duos and squads. When she does damage with the skill or takes damage, she fires a little ball that does a little bit of damage and slows. Ava also has a third bar called Vital Force that charges whenever you hit enemies with abilities. Ava's Q is Light Triad. She fires a ball skill shot that you can reactivate to explode. Ava's W is Phase Vortex. She drops a big AoE on the floor that when enemies are inside are slowed and take extra damage from Ava's other abilities. After 2 seconds, it explodes. Enemies in the middle ring are knocked up for a short amount of time. Ava's E is Amythest Flow. It's a short dash that gives her vision of enemies. Her next basic attack silences enemies for 0.1 second. And if they are affected by another CC ability from Ava, like her W, it applies a dot. Ava's R is VF Eruption. She stands still and fires a channeled laser. This laser does true damage every 0.1 second, very little bit, and applies a stack. At 5 stacks, it pops, and it does a bunch of skill damage. This ability can be toggled on and off, and if you use Amythest Flow while firing the laser, it cancels the laser and resets the cooldown fully. This is pretty simple in comparison to some of the other characters, but the difficulty from Ava doesn't come from her abilities, it comes from how you have to play her in the game. To start off in archery range, always eat both breads and drink 1 water. Grab eggs, chocolate, and 1 to 2 security cameras. But to be strong with Ava, you really need cameras. In Alley, when you make boiling water to finish your weapon, use the other boiling waters to make hot chocolate and boiled eggs. These should last you until mid-game. Also, grab binoculars so you can upgrade your cameras. 1 camera turns into 3 when you upgrade them. I always try to keep an inventory of max stack 6 cameras at all times. By the time you're finishing with Avenue, it might be turning into nighttime. When you go to Forest, if you hear footsteps in the middle of the night, drop a camera right on top of you so you can see what character it is. If it's a character that's on the list, run very quickly in the opposite direction. If you have any trouble finding gemstones or pickaxes in the forest, just go ahead and run into beach Beach is generally safe at this time in the game. I also like to come in here after forest to take all the hunts lying around before moving into my normal hunting route and hotel. As a heads up, you're probably not going to come back to beach or forest at any point during the game. You're not going to want to. As a skill amp character, your damage is directly correlated to your weapon level. To level up your weapon, you're going to want to kill as many things as possible. So that's why we're going to stick around, hang out around hotel, archery range, and school, or factory, hospital, cemetery. Ava needs a lot of walls to effectively zone and kite other characters. So we're going to avoid areas like forest, beach, temple, and pond. Your biggest item upgrades are going to be your shoes. Specifically, glacial shoes or the boots of Hermes. This is going to require a tree of life or a force core respectively. Your best shot at getting a tree of life is going to be the hospital one, because that's a really good area for Ava to kite and use bushes effectively. You can also fight Alpha or Omega, but these are very contested now, so just be warned. Also, Omega kind of slaps, so make sure you have food pre-popped before you even start fighting him. If you get a mithril piece, just upgrade your sunset armor to a mithril armor. As I said before, any characters that you fight as Ava, your goal is to not let them get close enough to jump in on you. You're going to want to hold your abilities. Except Q. You can throw that willy-nilly, that's fine. It's got a really low cooldown. When someone does jump on you, drop the W in the direction you're going to run to get the full slow duration and keep them away from you. You should be holding your E so that when they do jump on you, you can dash away very quickly. If they're in your W, by the way, you can VF Erupt for a couple seconds and then E-dash. Everything that you're going to do as Ava revolves around getting as much VF Eruption damage as possible on the target. Chasing with Ava is pretty terrible. Your dash is really short. You're really going to need to know how to cut corners and cut people off. Most of the time, I don't even bother with chasing. Your goal with the chase is to tag them with abilities to proc your Grimoire. That thing slaps. There is one point in the game where Ava is nearly unbeatable, and that is if you kill Wickeline. Wickeline's buff is so easy to apply to people as Ava. It'll just do all the work for you. Just tagging them with any of your abilities applies the buff. And since you're already going to be poking people with all your abilities, it's just going to keep reapplying the Wick buff over and over and over and over. You won't even need to use your VF Eruption to get a full blast off on people to kill them. Learn how to zone properly with Ava, and you're going to be a menace on the map. It's just going to take some time to learn how to play these fights properly and to learn all the matchups. Listen, if there's one thing that you're going to take from this guide, it's fuck Luke, that son of a bitch.